Hello and welcome to day 2 of Sod the Jubilee, All My Mates Hate the Jubilee, our special wank holiday edition of the untitled Anarchist Seagull channel. How are you doing Mask of the Red Death? Not too bad. Decided to try out something a little bit new with my setup, because the thing about this PC, I love this PC. I'm really proud to have built this thing. But it does not exactly excel in the area of portability, because this fucking case makes it, it weighs like, oh, well, hello. Glad that you're also having a conversation here. Good to see you. Yeah, exactly. Because this computer's usually set up in where I sleep. So I decided to... lately, when I've been streaming in the afternoon, I figured that I just decided to just not move the thing. And... as that's been working fairly well, it's a hell of a lot more comfortable. I think it probably also assists with not waking people up around here, since that's an issue. So I'm trying that out. Yeah. Yes, they like it, I like it, it allows for the continuity of the stream, and... so let's get started, since we're all here, and... to have a little bit of GeoGuessr. Yeah. Okay, this couldn't be more North American if it had like a big fucking I Love Imperialism poster up. Denton and Tahedra. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if we can get ourselves a speed limit sign or something that narrows it down. Fire hydrant to do. Yeah, it could. It's the U.S. seems likely, but it could be Canada too. And the only way we'll know that for sure is, well, speed limit 30. It is the U.S. And there's a sign that I believe is about to tell us what this place is called. Meadowwood Neighborhood. Wow, that's so fucking distinctive. Okay. So now we're gonna try to find, yeah, the state of the roads, but there's some shitty areas in terms of infrastructure in Canada too. Bits of Montreal have some pretty crappy, oh, hold on, what was that? Have the roads in a pretty shitty state. Bits of Winnipeg, bits of Vancouver. Apostolic Faith Church. No phone number, so it doesn't really help. Yeah, it's true. I have to say, I've traveled a fair bit, and the only place I've ever seen where the state of the roads is, like, the typical state of the roads is on par with the U.S. is South America. And even in some parts of South America, the state of the roads is better. Okay, we have Keenan Advantage Group. That helps me not at all. Move over or slow down. How about you tell me where you are? Yeah, oh, hold on. Hold the phone, there was something useful there. And I almost fucking missed it. Okay, US 18, US 151. Yeah, that's I was hoping it looked out of the corner of my eye. I thought that that might have been an Ohio state route because the shape is similar, but it's both US highways and don't quite know how those were. Let me see. We got any locations? Oh, we're on an exit 31A. We're gonna get an interstate number, I think, pretty soon. McKee Road, Williamsburg Way, PD. You're sure this is Wisconsin? Well, I guess you would know. Ah, the Wisconsin Dells. Ride the Ducks. Ah, yeah, Highway 18. And 151. So we're in Dodgeville. Okay, John Street. Okay. Yes. Well, we're about to get the hell out of Dodgeville. Oh shit. Huh? How is that possible? It said 18 and 151. I see 18 there, but I don't see 151. Oh, well, still 4822. Okay. I don't think this is the US. Could be South America, some parts of it. Or it could be... Wow, we're in the Balkans again. They've been sending me to the Balkans a lot lately. Bulgaria, Berovo. Okay. Both Cyrillic and Latin, so former Yugoslavia. Yes, that is one of the things highways in the U.S. do. I really don't think we should encourage it. Okay. Let's just head over to the Balkans. Berovo Spurj. Shinjon. Sutomore. And no, and Bulgaria does not have the J. Macedonia does, and Macedonian and Bulgarian are very closely related. But Bulgarian would spell that with a reverse, with the, like a Russian style ya. This is, oh, hold on. Detsata Nemat. Sopirachki. Detsata. Okay, I believe we have just established that this is Macedonia. Is Detsata? I was just saying. Macedonian is very close to Bulgarian, including the fact that it puts the definite article on the ends of words. Ohrid Struga. Prilep. Kichevo. It's like they've just added an entire Balkan package to the to GeoGuessr World, because I didn't used to get any like any Serbia, any Croatia, and lately I've been getting tons of not Macedonia, but Montenegro. Every single time they drop me off there. It may indeed have been. Let's go back. Bulgaria and Berovo. You're right. Berovo, Ratevo, Rusinovo, Crnik, Trabovište. Yes, well spotted. I thought it might have been. Okay. Bigla, Stamir. Ratevo. Let's see if we can get some more information. Oh, hold on. 500 meters this way. We should get some more information. Bulgarian, incidentally, has the distinction, it is very close to Russian, except it does not have cases. So, if you are curious about Russian, but afraid of noun declensions, Bulgarian is a worthwhile option. Svata Bogorodica Balaklia Golak. Okay. Uspenjena Presveta Bogorodica. Vravutuvani Centar Berovo. There are people who have trouble with the declension thing. I mean, everyone freaks out when you tell them that fucking Finnish and a Hungarian have like 18, 19 noun cases. But what people don't realize a lot of the time is that actually all that is they're putting the prepositions on the end of the noun. And the minute you understand that, it becomes much easier to work with. Let's say it's around here someplace. 25 kilometers, not bad. 49.16. Okay. One of these low resolution zones. Always a pain in the ass. .176. Jesus, I mean, this is really bad resolution. Christ. I can't even tell what fucking language that is. Okay, let's see. Maybe we go this way. We'll get to something that's actually, like, decipherable. What language? I have no idea. It's so blurry, I can't even tell what the letters are. It could be Cyrillic, it could be Latin alphabet. I'm just hoping that if we keep on going, we'll eventually get something legible. Yeah, they do. And there's definitely a lot of low-res rural highway footage on GeoGuessr of the US. And certainly the roads are scuffed as fuck, so I mean that's a vote in favor of the US. But that could also be a few other places. Okay. Okay, this is just... are we ever gonna get to see something clearly? It'd be nice if there were some sort of, like, algorithm to make sure that all GeoGuessr image series had a certain minimum resolution. 176. That's the second time we've seen that 176. Okay, I'm just gonna say fuck it. Northwest Ohio. $21.34. What does it rhyme with? Okay. If that's English. Doesn't look to me like the US, though. Okay. Yeah, not entirely sure what that was. Could have been Tamil. Colombo, we are in Sri Lanka. It is Sinhala. Does it have a syllable "uk" in it? One kilometer off. Ah, interesting. Well, Twitter won't even let me make a reference to a certain delicious crispy snack. Okay, is this really Ipanema or is this not? It would be nice to have a Brazil one that's that straightforward. Troca Financia. Okay, we are definitely in Brazil. I had a history teacher who was convinced, absolutely fucking convinced, that the song was The Girl from Iwo Jima. Okay, can we get something that confirms that we are in fact... That would be... Okay. Get out of Macedonia. Fortaleza. Petropolis, Praia Grande. Pelota, weón. You know, when fucking Syriza in Greece really truly jumped the shark is when they tried to announce it as a huge victory that they'd gotten Macedonia to change their name, something that only the fascists were actually giving a shit about. The minute that, I mean, that just kind of sealed it. And they actually decided to take that bullshit seriously. Well, yes. Yes, I can see where you could go with, where you could get that. I won't entirely disagree with you, actually. Or when they decided to just campaign as usual at a time when, fascist paramilitaries were really escalating their violence, and they did absolutely... I mean, you know, you had communities that were organizing to defend themselves, and Syriza didn't even acknowledge it. They just kind of went on as normal, as if nothing was fucking going on. Where the hell is Ipanema? I mean, I know it's coastal, but Brazil is fucking huge. Oh, right, okay. That simplifies things greatly. Thank you for that. There we go, that... Procopio Ferreira. Prudente de Moraes. Cimento Silva. Okay, it wasn't really. It was in Guarulhos. 3976. The thing is, Yanis Varoufakis was like the one person in there who had some idea what the fuck he was doing, who seemed to actually have some kind of thinking about how to do things differently. And he still wasn't any good, because he had this idea still that you could just sort of negotiate in good faith with a bunch of right-wing leaders who wanted nothing other than to completely tank their government. And, I mean, I don't know how many times that mistake has to be made. Because it happens, I mean, like, this is just... In chess, we would call this fucking a theory. Because it happens every time. It is, like, the sort of standard line that these sorts of governments always end up in. Okay. I have a couple of new options. For one thing, I have, we haven't actually looked at Zanderhole in a bit. Oh, yeah, see, I thought so, and I also thought, since, you know, it is, the Jubilee Wank holiday, the wonderful interview that Prince Andrew gave that, totally exonerated him of the charge of not being a nonce. I have that on there as well, but yes, okay. Zanderhole and what he has to say about Sophie is, I mean, the last time we saw Zanderhole, you may remember, somebody who likes to fuck the underage. In this case, he had been caught in photographs at Epstein's parties, and he claimed he didn't know anything about it. And there was actually one of the girls he had gave a statement saying that she'd ended up with him, and said that he was all sweaty. And he said, "Oh no, that can't be, because I don't sweat." And then he goes on to say, "Well, I didn't sweat at the time." And then he says, "Well, I'm almost unable to sweat." And then it turned out he was at a fucking Pizza Express in Woking. I mean, there are people who are good at lying. Yeah, Prince Andrew is not one of those people. And as a result, there's a song at the top of the charts at the moment, or near the top of the charts, by a punk rock group from Essex called The Cunts, with a K, called Prince Andrew is a Sweaty Nonce. But okay, let's see what Zanderhole has to say about Sophie.
Listen, the reason why I'm talking about this is because just because someone has the correct political opinions, makes good political content, and you know, their political stuff is worthwhile saying or worthwhile hearing, doesn't mean they're a good person.
Well, yes, but you see, when it's also possible, I understand how he would feel the need to say that, and yes, of course, that's actually certainly true. But the thing is that he also doesn't actually have very good political opinions. The last time we saw him, he was trying to claim that it was misogynist to say, "Shut the fuck up, TERF."
All right, so I don't often talk about my feelings on stream because I'm very much of the opinion that the less of your personal soft side you show to the internet, the better, because you can't squeeze blood from a stone, and there are a lot of people out there on the internet, regardless of who you are, how inoffensive you think your content or online presence is. There are people...
Yeah, because, I mean, if anything, his online content is inoffensive. I mean, he specifically says that he puts in effort to make sure that he will not offend Nazis, and I think he's done a very good job at that. That's, like, probably the only group of people who won't be offended by his fucking stream. Okay.
People out there that hate you and want to destroy you, and it doesn't matter how reasonable and chill you are. So I often find that
how would you know? Have you tried being reasonable and chill?
showing less of your emotions to the internet is typically a good idea.
And this is just okay. This is such a great example of some very, very typical male bullshit. This idea that you're not that like being an asshole to people isn't like that. If you show this sort of like just complete insufferable asshole side of you, that's somehow not emotional.
Otherwise, you end up opening up yourself to attacks from others. However, one thing I do feel comfortable talking about, especially here since it's quite relevant, is that when I was young, I should mention, by the way, doing this YouTube streaming thing for a living has been my dream. This has been my dream job since I was 10 years old. Maybe not necessarily doing political content. I was more in the mindset of gaming content when I was a kid, but I
should have stuck with that because his political content sucks shit.
Still think it falls into the same general umbrella, right? I'm a live streamer, I'm a YouTuber, I'm in that umbrella. I ended up achieving that dream that I had. I'm very happy about that, I'm very proud of it, and I'm very grateful for it. But one of the downsides is how much of a rude awakening I had when I started doing this. When I started like doing political YouTube, I was
Yeah, was this when you were? You mean when you were like just when you were fash or what?
That it would be more of like a friendly community of people that we'd come together and we'd like.
Oh, shut the fuck! A friendly community. I mean, your entire thing is lying about people who Vosh doesn't like in order to start shit with them. A friendly community.
There'd be drama every once in a while. There'd be the occasional schizo YouTuber I'd have to deal with.
Oh, a nice little bit of ableism there.
And we'd deal with the drama and move on or whatever. But like, I came to realize very quickly the vast majority of people in this space are fucking assholes that are either out for themselves or in some cases are genuinely dealing with serious mental issues and need to get help. And they are, channeling their frustration to people on the internet. That has happened with quite a few figures I've encountered. Just really wild shit. And one of those rude awakenings has also included, I'll find a YouTuber who's like pretty large, pretty popular. I have no issue with them. I've either never encountered them or I've got no reason to have a problem with them, right? But for some fucking reason, they've got a problem with me.
Yeah, I wonder why that is. A guy whose entire fucking YouTube career is monetizing the fact that you were once a Nazi and now kind of, well, you're not as much of one. And who just lies about anyone who Vosh doesn't like, which is kind of anyone who's decent. I can't imagine why somebody would have any problem with you without having a personal encounter. It's almost like you have a public platform.
Gone out of their way to shit talk me, or they'll hate me for no reason. Like, legitimately no reason that I would know. I'd never have heard of them, what have you, right?
You do understand that this is on the internet, right? I mean, people who don't know you know what you have to say.
An example of this includes a YouTuber who has, gained a decent amount of popularity in the breadtube space. And unfortunately, she has a pretty positive reputation, despite the fact that and this is only something I learned recently, she's a piece of shit liar. And
well, because his impeccable history for telling the truth, see, for example, all the shit that he had to say about Professor Flowers, Lua, you can just, when he accuses somebody of dishonesty, you know that there's got to be something to that.
And we're going to be getting into that in just a moment. So let's look at the tweets, the relevant tweets. This is my amazing editor friend and
this is about the creepy sex cult shit. Oh, and so Vosh fans had what the trans suspended for criticizing Vosh, yes. And so of course, since Xanderhole is totally not about the drama, and he's totally about getting along with people. He is obviously going to try to start some shit over this.
And content manager Cherry, who tweeted this: "I'm not surprised the person who months ago supported the sex cult lies about Xanderhall is now spreading more lies about but this time about Vosh and his community." And this is the very long thread from Sophie from Mars, who is the person who...
Sophie, I should note, I mean, he's using the term, I'm almost certain, has not got anywhere near the viewership that Vosh has, or probably even that this prick has.
Did said spread sex cult...
I mean, she's got way more viewers than I have, but, I mean, I don't think her subscriber level is anything compared to either of them.
Rumor spreading. She is also friends with Thought Slime, who is the one who you know, came up with the sex cult accusation. So it was Vosh fans who had whoever this is, What the Trans, suspended for
whoever this is. See, he really kind of keeps up with these issues that are important in the community. So of course he has absolutely no idea who What the Trans is.
Criticizing Vosh. WTT is a community resource for trans people in the UK currently trying desperately to survive as our government is trying to strip us of our rights and kill us.
Which is true. Every single bit of that is true. Is he going to attack that?
This man and his supporters are dangers to the queer community.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's not wrong. He has demonstrated he has absolutely no loyalty to anyone but his own fucking income. He has thrown trans people under the bus. Xanderhole has trans people under the bus, has thrown trans people under the bus. Neither of them give two shits about trans people, and What the Trans is an extremely valuable resource.
It's an outright block for even associating with this fucking creep or his goons from now on.
Considering that they start these fucking racist dog piles on people, I think that's a good policy. I think that's good security culture. There is absolutely no reason to leave that opening because their community is just a bunch of people who are looking to, you know, find somebody to just fall upon like fucking werewolves.
I will not tolerate you tolerating someone as harmful as this. Do not initiate if you think these people are at all worthwhile.
Okay. I mean, nothing she's saying is wrong. Everything...
The guy is a well-known sex pest, constantly harassing women privately, sometimes very young, and everyone knows it. It's a matter of public fucking record, and we all just take an extra big step over the missing star in our community. Fuck that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so far, where's the bit where she's a lying joke, though?
His fans are belligerent, obnoxious, creepy chuds who harass...
Is he just going to be reading the entirely accurate thing Sophie's saying? Is that going to be the entire thing?
And shame other content creators for expressing any disagreement with him in ways no other creator's community ever does.
Well, I mean, no... okay... I would say probably, you know, people like the fucking Quartering, their communities are known for doing this sort of thing, but certainly I can't think of any content creator who tries to be associated somehow with the left who behaves quite like that. I mean, it's just him and Vosh doing that.
Ever does! He has deliberately fostered a toxic and abusive community to manipulate people around him.
Exactly. I mean, okay. What are you objecting to? Where's the part where you say any of this isn't true? Because I haven't seen anything yet that isn't extremely well known.
When the consensus finally shifts and we all stand around going, wow, I can't believe the online left was comfortable with this child porn defending serial harasser.
Yeah, and Vosh certainly has defended child porn. He absolutely has done that. He's done it on stream. He lied about it in really unconvincing ways, very Prince Andrew style, actually. and she's talking not about Xanderhole here. She's talking about Vosh. I mean, when you criticize Vosh, you get Xanderhole fucking showing up to get mad at you.
I will not be counted as saying nothing. I am being perfectly fucking clear about this, and others must as well.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, she's right.
Especially cis men in our space. If you stay silent while this fucking creep and his imps carry on acting like this, you have simply chosen to disbelieve all the POC, queer people, and women who've been telling you for years that you need to be free from these people.
Yeah, I mean, again, okay, is this the bit? It sounds like he's about to go and start saying his own things now. Is he going to seriously try to disagree with any of that?
By the way, nothing that is being said here makes any sense. None of, like, the logic, like, that was, like, the base logical assumptions that were started with in this accusation or this thread make any sense in the follow-through here. Like, now...
Wait, how? I mean, what she started out with was that Vosh stands mass reported what the trans and got them suspended. And she's been saying that there's a toxic community, and now she's going on to say that it's been queer people, people of color, and women who've been saying for years that these people are bad news, and all of that is true. Like, what exactly? Where's the logical flaw that he's claiming to see?
Now we've gone from, like, let's see where we started. We started with Vosh's fans got what the trans suspended to if you tolerate Vosh and you are a cis man in our space especially, then you are a danger and you have chosen to disbelieve all the POC, queer people and women who have been telling for years that we need to be free from these people.
Yeah, well, I mean, thanks for the reminder. Yes, that is where we started and how far you've read so far. But, like, what the hell are? I mean, where's the logical fallacy in there?
By the way, you need to listen to trans people, you need to listen to POC, you need to listen to insert minority group is a very common talking point, but then when you, like, point to the overwhelm...
Well, yes, it's a common talking point when talking about Vosh, because the people he has disproportionately harassed and lied about and instigated fucking dog piles on are leftist, queer women, people of color. Those are the people who have been targeted and who have been warning about this asshole in the first place.
Like, number of trans or marginalized people that support you that, like, dwarfs the number that are criticizing you, and they'll be like, yeah, but not them. You can't listen to them. Not their opinions. You can't listen to those.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that the point is that the people who are criticizing you are people you've demonstrably lied about and done absolutely horrible racist shit and instigated harassment of.
Those trans people, not those POC, not those marginalized people, not them. No, their opinions don't matter. Just the ones that disagree with you. To the men in our space, I will reiterate, if you're worried about losing followers, if you're worried about stoking controversy around you, grow a fucking spine and take a little responsibility for the community and for the most vulnerable in it. And I think,
okay. So, where's the part where she's lying?
And this is an older Sophie from Mars tweet. She privated her account and blocked me because I and a few others pointed out she was lying. This is from January 2022, years after the disproving of the sex cult allegation.
Yeah, I mean, according to Xanderhole, who lies about basically everything.
I love saying Xanderhole had a sex cult far more than I love carrot cake, and I love carrot cake a lot. I mean, pretty scumfuck shit. And obviously, yeah, this tweet got a lot of attention and got a lot of support. I want to be clear here, okay? Political boundaries are not the line by which you should judge the moral character of YouTubers and streamers in this space, or any...
Well, yeah, but your political boundaries suck shit. I mean, you stand Vosh. Vosh has, I mean, used white nationalist talking points to defend colonialism. He's platformed a Nakba, like, a softcore Nakba denying Zionist just to get back at bad empanada, as far as I can tell. He started a huge pile-on with just outrageous lies about Professor Flowers. I mean, so yeah, your political boundaries suck shit, and they also happen to suck shit because they show that your ideas about how it's okay to treat people suck shit.
A public figure. I don't care how much you agree with YouTuber X, that does not mean that YouTuber X is a good person. I've been saying this for so long, but
does that include Vosh?
It feels like we've gone full circle back to the arc where I would originally dunk on the woke skulls and have to explain this, like, very basic stuff to you guys. But, like, just because somebody has very good, agreeable, completely correct even political prescriptions and political beliefs does not mean that they cannot be an abuser. That they...
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, yeah, that's true, but this has nothing to do with anything. If anything, what you're saying totally backs up what Sophie said, which he's avoided actually explaining why any of it is a lie. We started out with saying that, he started out by saying she's a lying joke. Then we read this thread, and every single bit of it, he didn't actually have a serious dispute with any of it. He just said that somehow it doesn't follow to say that, Vosh stands got what the trans suspended because they criticized Vosh, and to follow that up after several tweets developing the idea that the Vosh and Xanderhole community, though she doesn't say Xanderhole, I mean, it's one community really, is toxic as fuck and is just sort of an incubator for abusers.
They cannot have fucked up ideas or engage in fucked up behavior or be a liar or be a misrepresenter or a gaslighter or just a clout-obsessed piece of shit.
Yeah, you mean sort of like somebody who claims that a leftist woman of color supports white genocide because she is against colonialism? You mean sort of like that? That's the kind of piece of shit move, isn't it?
Nothing about being a good lefty or like a well-informed leftist or whatever positive trait you want to ascribe to being left-wing precludes you from those other negative disqualifying personality traits. And so many people treat it like it's not possible. Yeah, literally, like Sean from Twitter. Sean's politics are amazing for the most part when you watch his videos and stuff. Sean on Twitter, on the other hand, is a passive-aggressive piece of shit. A completely different person, honestly. Someone whose political, beliefs and his, political work.
Wait, I've noticed we've kind of moved off of Sophie. Is he ever going to come back to that?
Definitely deserves respect and appreciation, but if I'm being honest, Sean, as far as his personality, at least if his online personality is anything to go off of, just probably doesn't really come off as being a good person. He seems like a complete asshole. The type of person that in real life you just would never want to associate with and would just avoid, because after...
See, I aspire to be the type of person that in real life somebody like Xander Hull would not want to associate with.
One interaction with them, you're just like, why would I ever want to talk to this asshole again? This reminds me of the 2016 rant Skeptic Tube used to roast. Are you saying that what I'm saying reminds you of, like, Skeptic Tube? Is that what you're saying, Rock One? Where does Hassan fit into this? Hassan is literally whatever Hassan, I feel like, is the designated most popular left-wing figure.
Is this... Okay, are we done talking about Sophie at this point? Having not actually explained what makes her supposedly a liar? Because it seems like at this point, okay, we've just talked about Sean, and now we're talking about Hassan, and it is literally, there are only 4 minutes out of 13 minutes and 47 seconds left in this thing. And so far, he has not actually made any fucking point.
And whatever he is doing is the meta, I guess you could say. So yeah, politics and ethics are not synonymous. Say it louder with me for those in the back. So...
And I would disagree entirely. I think if somebody has good political opinions but treats other people like shit, that means that their politics sucks. I mean, if when you talk about a person's politics, all you're talking about is like what they have to say in the abstract, and nothing to do with how they behave around other people, then I think that you have an extremely limiting idea of what the political even is. Like, I don't really give a shit if you have an excellent analysis of fucking, I don't know, value theory or the hows and whys of the disaster that was the Spanish Civil War outcome or something like that. If your record in organizations is you treat people like shit, you lie about people, you start bullshit, and there are persistent feelings that maybe you're working for somebody else while you're in there, I mean, then you just see your politics suck.
I think that our ethical beliefs, like our moral...
I'm not using that to refer to a specific person, to be clear. That's an abstract example.
Sort of framework should be guiding our...
I don't think that Xanderhole, as far as I can tell, he's never actually been in any kind of organizing. He's just a fucking YouTuber.
Beliefs. And I think that's, for the most part, the case when it comes to most political prescriptions and most laws and policies and what have you. But overall, did I move my camera? No, I just turned my chair a little bit. But overall, I think that you can generally judge the morals of someone pretty accurately based off of what political beliefs they hold, or especially what policies they believe in.
That's a very convenient thing to say, because he thinks that his political beliefs are great. And if you were to assume that that was in fact the case, although honestly every time he expresses his political beliefs it's a mixture of ignorance and reactionary bullshit, the thing is, his treatment of other people is just horrible. He's not a good person.
You know, what policies someone believes in can be a pretty direct line to determine their moral, their moral character.
Yes, for example, let's say you equate decolonization with white genocide. That tells you a lot about somebody's moral character.
Anyway, listen, the reason why I'm talking about this is because just because someone has the correct political opinions, makes good political content, and their political stuff is worthwhile saying or worthwhile hearing, doesn't mean they're a good person. And
okay. Hello, Adam. Good evening. We're looking at Xanderhole, who has promised us that he's going to show that Sophie from Mars, which for some reason he's written all as one word, is a lying joke. We are 10 minutes and 54 seconds out of 13 minutes and 47 seconds into this thing, and all he's done is read entirely unobjectionable tweets, an entirely unobjectionable thread from Sophie about the toxic and abusive nature of Vosh and his fan base, and how they got the trans suspended through a mass reporting campaign. And he didn't attempt to disagree with any of that, and now we've moved over and it seems like he's just abandoned talking about Sophie altogether. So we're still waiting. I mean, I'm taking odds right now on whether we're ever going to hear about Sophie again in the rest of this video, because he's promised quite a lot.
And then on the other hand, and this is even harder for people to believe, just because someone's political beliefs are dog shit doesn't mean they're a bad person.
Yes, actually, it really kind of depends. Like, what kind of dog shit? Yeah, I mean, for example, if you think that that decolonization is the same thing as white genocide, you agree with that sort of white nationalist bullshit, yeah, you're a shitty person. If you're like a fascist, like Xanderhole claims he no longer is, although every time he opens his mouth he creates greater doubt about that, yeah, you're a piece of shit. You're literally doing harm. You have actually hit the fucking Powerball jackpot of worst political and moral judgment. Very few people manage to actually have political and moral judgment as bad as that. And his view is that people who claim they are no longer Nazis should just be allowed into leftist spaces, and nobody should hold them in any way accountable or in any way question whether they can be trusted.
Sometimes they're good people too. I'll give you a good example. Hunter Avallone. Hunter Avallone's...
He's a shithead. I mean, he's the guy who's like, if you can't trust the CIA, who can you trust? And who was profiting off of his, like, fashy, racist videos, even at the same time as he was trying to do the ex-Nazi grift, like Xanderhole here is. Until Bad Empanada actually shamed him into taking it off, and then he actually just whined about how he was losing money off of taking down these racist videos that he was still monetizing.
Politics were dog shit for a very long time. Most of the time he's been on the internet, as far as I'm aware, and yet I doubt many of you would say he was a bad person.
Yeah, I would say he was a bad person. He was making money by spreading racist propaganda, and now he's just making money by spreading just bog standard liberal imperialist propaganda, and acting all put out because people thought it was bad that he kept up all his white supremacist videos, while at the same time trying to monetize the fact that he was supposedly no longer a white supremacist. Fuck him. Xanderhole does not get quite that far down the rabbit hole, but he gets kind of close.
He was a good person with shitty political beliefs. Yeah,
see, you could believe that because if anyone can tell you that somebody who's like a professional racist is not really a bad person, it's a white guy with a little bit of fucking clout.
I do think that it's worth pointing out that there is a difference there, and I think Sophie from Mars is just kind of a shithead who happens to have some agreeable political beliefs.
Okay, so we have actually gotten back to Sophie from Mars. Is he going to actually back up his claim that anything she said about What the Trans, about Vosh's fucking hideous community of suckholes is a lie? Is he gonna back that up?
And, something that's sort of a wake-up call, and if you're like an aspiring political content creator in the space, this is also going to be a wake-up call for you. This space is so much less friendly than you think.
And if you're starting out from the assumption that Xanderhole and Foch are like the baseline level of friendliness, and it's less friendly even than that's saying quite a bit.
You will find 4 times out of 10, I'd say, that a content creator in your lane that you've discovered who you might want to collab with, become friends with, you might even find enjoying their content and becoming sort of a fan of in a way, already hates you before you even know their name, or before you...
Well, see, and if you're an aspiring leftist content creator and you're listening to this and getting scared, see, the thing is, when you're an ex-Nazi who believes that people who claim to be ex-Nazis should not be held in any way accountable in left spaces for that, and who just lies about people for no other reason than they said something mean about Daddy Vosh, yeah, a lot of people are gonna dislike you, man. That's kind of how it works. You're an asshole and people notice. Don't assume that that's gonna be, if you're an aspiring leftist content creator, don't go by his baseline. Just don't be like him.
Even knew they exist. That's the craziest thing about being a content creator, is when your reputation precedes you so much that people know who you are before you even know they exist.
Is he just realizing this? This is the second time he's brought up how he is surprised to hear that people have an opinion of him before, when he doesn't know them, when he's on the literal internet.
And they hate you. Someone hates you and you don't even know they exist.
Well, yeah, because you're an asshole. And you've decided to monetize that fact. And the result is, I mean, like, I didn't know who the hell this fool was, but YouTube kept on recommending it. And then Professor Flowers did that video pointing out just how full of shit he was. And yeah, he's an asshole.
Such a wild wake-up call. And it's way more common than you expect.
So we seem to be off of Sophie again for anyone keeping count. He just sort of dropped her name back in there just to call her a shithead, and now he's on about how hard it is when you're a professional asshole on the internet that you have people who don't know you who say, wow, you're an asshole.
Way more common. Anyway, this kind of shit is very petty, but I think it's worth calling out.
You haven't called anything out. You just read completely valid and accurate and well-established things that Sophie said. You're not even disputing that it was Vosh stands that got what the trans suspended. He also, Adam, since you came in a little bit late, this guy who, like, claims to be a supporter of the trans community, except when he's using turf talking points in order to defend Vosh, has never heard of what the trans, and it read, Sophie pointed out in this tweet that he was reading, what an important resource they are, and what a dire situation it is for trans people in Britain. And I can tell, I mean, I've been there, I've seen this developing. I spent quite a bit of time there, watching this thing and trying to fight it from, like, my little corner of South Wales. And it is dire. And he read this with this sarcastic voice. And I think he thinks that counts as refuting something.
Anyway, with all that said, if you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting it by...
You still haven't said anything. You haven't backed up the bit about her being a liar. You haven't addressed any of it.
dropping a like and commenting if you're watching it after the fact when it goes up.
Yeah, okay, so he's moved on to monetization here.
Up as its own individual video segment on YouTube. And if you're watching live as the video is streaming on YouTube right now, then you can also like the stream and, you know, just generally support.
So he's not going to actually address, he called her a liar, and he's not actually going to explain what she was lying about.
That way. And of course, if you want to see more from me, you can follow my social medias, linked down below. And you can sub to me and ring the bell icon as well, so YouTube...
Yes, look at all the different ways you can monetize this guy in order to help him turn having previously been a Nazi who now is somewhat ambivalent about being a Nazi into a viable grift.
Actually tells you when I go live or upload a new video. And finally, of course, if you want to support me financially so that you can keep my lights on and keep me streaming to you guys and doing this full time, doing it for a living, consider donating, subscribing, or gifting me, or gifting a sub over on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or financially supporting me as...
Okay, he spent more time grifting, he spent more time shilling here than he spent on the entire question of what Sophie is supposed to have said that he says is not true.
Well, through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, or even through Patreon. With all that said, thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so he did not actually... All he did was reread her stuff and then change the fucking subject. That was it. That was the whole thing. He never actually called her a liar and did not even attempt to back that shit up. He just sort of forgot about it. And then he moved on to talk about fucking... how to pay him money. By the way, if you enjoyed the stream, I would be absolutely chuffed to bits if you considered paying for the stream. My Patreon is always looking for new supporters, and if you can't or you don't feel like it, don't feel bad at all. I'm still glad to see you here in chat. I am myself not exactly immune to the monetization thing, but I'm not monetizing having been a fucking Nazi. Cause you see, I mean, he's like, I prefer people who were never Nazis. Okay, we don't have a whole lot of time left. It's only 10 minutes, so I think I might just do a little bit of GeoGuessr to wind down for tonight. I will be back on tomorrow. wind down with some GeoGuessr, and I will be back tomorrow. Turn that down. Okay. No post boxes on the street signs. Prefab houses. I mean, this could be North America. It could also be someplace else. Hard to say for now. In the main, I start around 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time and go on till 1 a.m. But lately, I've been occasionally throwing in like surprise streams when I just have a little bit of time in the early evening as well. And I also am streaming a fair bit on my other channel, Hyperpolyglotting with Elise, where I do like a multilingual just GeoGuessr stream, sort of a chill stream. But I'm also throwing in some early evening, like between say 5 and 7 or 6 and 8 streams on this channel lately. But the main time is always Friday and Saturday nights, 11:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern U.S. time. What time zone are you in, Adam? Okay, no signs so far. I need a bit of signposting if we're ever gonna get an idea where exactly we are. I mean, so far there's been nothing except, okay, it's right-hand driving. It's right-hand traffic, so that's something. But other than that, I've not seen anything that really clearly says, oh, hold on. West Mountain Home, 1 mile. Okay, we're in the U.S. West Mountain Home, that is familiar, but I can't... Oh, okay, same time zone as me then. West Mountain Home is very familiar to me, and I can't remember exactly where it is. Adopt a highway, but not in a way that helps us determine location. Screw it. We haven't got a whole lot of time yet. I'm just going to guess it's somewhere around here. 382 kilometers off. Not bad at all. 3871. Okay, this I think is Japan. Right offhand, I'm pretty sure we are in Japan. Yes, we are. 入居者以外の方、通り抜け禁止。No through traffic except for residents. Toridori Hamamiya. Okay. Come on, give me something with like a council. Odawara. Genju. No. That does not necessarily tell me anything about the exact location, but we have reached a dead end. Come on, give me something from the council. Go this way. Heights. Sogo kanji. E-Heanet. Like an internet portal for rentals. Omono kara komono made. Coin laundry. It's a coin laundry. Matsumoto. Pharmacy. Koomito. Okay. Yamaguchi Natsuo. That name is familiar somehow. Eton Serin. Okay, I'm just gonna split the difference. Oh hell, yes, I was actually not far from this place just the other day. Okay, that's North America. I'm not sure what an 814 area code exactly means. The craft beer distributor. Proud stockists of Hoppy Hopperson's Hopfucker Ale. The only IPA guaranteed to etch your tongue into non-existence. Haller Road, St. Mary's Street. Domino's Shitty Pizza. Yes, okay, definitely in the US. That says speed limit. PNC Bank. Okay, they have those in the Midwest. I don't know where else. DQ. Self-storage units. All lanes stop for school bus. That does not really help me. I mean, great for the school buses, but it doesn't tell me a lot about where we are. Physical industry training. looks like a wide enough street that you'd think there'd be an interstate someplace connecting to it. Pennsylvania, 120, 255, and 120. $9.97. 255 and 120. $252. $113, $282. I'll just say it's someplace near Philly. Haven't got. It's got to be wrapping up fairly soon anyway. 320 kilometers off. Okay, 4 out of 5. I feel like this is Russia. Культурный центр Овы. Yes, Rosneft. Okay, yeah, this is Russia. Civil Registry Center. Умный кредит. Набережная. Okay. So on the shore, so that suggests we are in someplace coastal. Улица Набережная, улица Мира. Discovery Bank. First aid for your house. Managers and designers required. Bankruptcy. Halal meat. Shawarma, lipyoshka, samsa. Sounds tasty. Hello, Amazon Run. You've caught me at the very tail end, but what makes you think Western Russia or Ukraine? Двери дует. ТЦ Союз. Гипермаркет. Сантехника. Домстрой. Car wash. Tuning planet. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, especially western end of the country is where the bulk of the population live. I think that makes perfect sense, and I think since we're actually running fairly short on time, we're gonna go with it. So, I'm gonna say, fuck it. I'm gonna say Varangiers. Super gut. Huh, okay. They pixelate the license plates, unfortunately. Rytiach Sintyepsky. 1,096 points. Okay, this I think we're gonna say is, yeah, this is almost certainly U.S. and we're on a highway already, which does bode well because we may be able to get this exactly. Just need to find out what highway number it is. Marshall University Medical Center. Ah, shit, we missed it because the Sunbeam was in the way. Mount West Commercial and Technical College. But there was a fucking sign that had a route number on it. And then it disappeared. Yeah, you can get the color. That's been helpful a few times. Like telling the difference between Belgium and the Netherlands, for example. And Ireland and Britain. Hal Greer Boulevard, downtown. Damn it, you back up and the stuff disappears on you. Robert Byrd Institute, Pullman Square. Okay, we are in West Virginia. It must be. This has to be West Virginia. Robert Byrd, Marshall University, Appalachian. That sounds like West Virginia to me. Gonna say someplace in Charleston. 62 kilometers by Huntington. View summary. 17,341. Not my best performance, but I wasn't making maximum effort because I was running out of time. And with that, it is time for me to bid everybody a good night. I will, however, be back tomorrow night at 11:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. And I look forward to seeing you. Thank you for stopping in, Amazon Run. I hope I see you tomorrow.